VR30 guys said that this shit's not possible in the driveway. I take it to a shop. Got to get it on a lift. Hell no. For the very mechanically inclined guys, you can do this shit here fucking in your driveway. Really, all you need is, for me, I used a impact. Made my life so much easier. But you got the engine hoist. You can buy those shits for fucking cheap, or you can buy them for cheap. The chain I got from Home Depot, cut it in half, put the little hook on the end of it, made it shorter so that way it's easier to raise the crash bars. Put it in the middle. It's not really gonna move. 4 jack stands in total. I went overkill with 6, but all you need is 4, 2 up front, 1 in the middle, 1 on the transmission mount. Let's see, I got ramps for the wheels in the back to kind of give the back some lift as well, so that way it doesn't roll too much forward. And there's also a jack on the differential in the rear, so it avoids the wheels from spinning forward as you start lifting. But yeah, that's really it. Struts, brake calipers, that's all I really use. Like, I use typical fucking tools, extensions, 10, 12 millimeters, 15 millimeters, 17 millimeter. I think the biggest was 19, 21 millimeter. And that's like about it. And then for the rear wheel drive, guys, I'm on 2019. That was only 4 bolts. Holding the subframe up. So, nuts. So you got 1 nut, 2 nuts, and then 1 bolt. So 1 bolt here, 1 bolt there, 2 bolts on the opposite side. So 1 here, 1 on the opposite side, 1 here, 1 on the opposite side, and you're good. You don't gotta put the car in fucking jack stands. As you see, there's none under here, all under the subframe, because you're gonna lift the fucking frame off of the goddamn subframe. But yeah, I think the biggest part that you really even have to think about is just measuring this shit, make sure it doesn't move when you're putting the shit in. Everything else, I left the alternator in. Some people take it off, some people don't. I left this in, but the AC compressor has to come off to feed the lines, the oil feed lines through. But yeah, that's about it. There's nothing too difficult about this goddamn install. For the top, you got the struts, obviously, 3 bolts on each side. You got the electrical connectors, the ECU. There's one electrical connector that goes right here, follows over here. You unplug it, lift it out of the fucking that slot. Just put on the engine. You got your low pressure fuel line's aftermarket with the filter or whatever. So that's how mine looks. But you have the heater core line, which is right there. It's on both sides. That one's kind of a bitch to get to unless you have very long pliers, but not that bad again. And then some people do not take the intercools off. I do, because I don't have the tool to bleed it. So I just took them off. I left them here on the actual frame. Just be careful when lifting so they don't tip over. AC line over there. And I think there's another one down here somewhere. You got your radiator upper hose, your lower hose. You got 2 bonding jumpers on that side, 1 there, and then 1 somewhere back there. It's probably, that's all still on the engine. And that's really it. Yeah, that's it. You gotta move that top piece, the fairings, and you're pretty much good. There's nothing much else that you have to worry about. I'll take my bumper off, obviously, to carry it from the crash bar, but some people do it from the actual frame. My chain, I didn't feel like doing all that shit, so I just cut the chain and just used the crash bar. But yeah, it's very much possible. Takes a little bit of thinking, a little bit of cautiousness, because obviously you're on chains and wheels are on there, but it's possible. Turbo's on. I still gotta finish the finishing touches. Come back tomorrow, make sure all the torques are still good, and so on and so forth. Make sure you have a torque wrench. Do not do it without a fucking torque wrench. Please do not. It'll make your life so much easier, so you don't strip bolts, so you don't fuck nothing up, and everything is done correctly first time. If you fuck anything up on the turbos, you gotta drop it again. Rinse and repeat until you finally figure it out. Also recommend change your goddamn belt out, because most of you guys, when you're putting bigger turbos on, you're going to get dynoed. and we already are notorious for ripping or shredding these fucking belts. So either go buy that Z1 kit or buy the new race box anti-jump kit, so that way you don't do this shit. But please just get a new fucking belt if you don't have that. Me, in my case, I don't need it. If I end up needing it later on, cool, awesome. But right now, I've just been keeping up with my belt changes, keeping up with all the oil changes, and keeping this thing running pretty snazzy. So yeah, the install is straightforward. Z1, very great fucking instructions. Mechanically inclined guys, shoot for it, shoot for the fucking stars, save you some goddamn money. The guys that don't know what they're doing, hey, you can still go figure it out. I recommend, hey, taking a jump. This is my first time doing it. Probably will not be my last, but it's a hell of a fucking experience. So drop your balls, bro, go do it.